In an unprecedented development in North Carolina's electoral process, a critical legal challenge is unfolding that could have far-reaching implications on the democratic rights of voters. Noters. North Carolina Supreme Court Justice Allison Riggs, a seasoned legal mind and civil rights advocate, has become a central figure in this case that pits the established electoral process against a controversial attempt to disqualify tens of thousands of ballots. This report provides a detailed account of the situation and examines its implications for the integrity of the democratic process. The controversy centers on the certification of the last remaining race from the November 2024 elections. At the heart of the dispute are approximately 60,000 ballots that candidate Jefferson Griffin is contesting. Despite an earlier district court ruling that was favorable, a 3-judge panel of the North Carolina Court of Appeals has reversed that decision, siding with Griffin's challenge. The panel, composed predominantly of Republican judges, decreed that these ballots should not be counted unless remedied within a 15-day period. In response, Justice Riggs has stated her intention to file an appeal and seek a judicial stay, pending further review. This legal battle comes at a time when every vote is more critical than ever, and the prospect of disenfranchising thousands of voters, including members of the military, raises significant concerns about the fairness and transparency of the electoral process. In a statement marked by both resolve and legal acumen, Justice Riggs has emphasized that her legal team and she remains steadfast in defending the rights of every North Carolinian, regardless of the challenges posed by this ruling. The justice, known for her extensive experience in litigating civil rights cases for over 15 years before joining the bench, reiterated that her team is fully prepared for the rigorous appeal process that now lies ahead. A closer look at the legal proceedings reveals the dual nature of the current struggle: the appeals process and the ballot cure process. On Friday, the appellate panel's decision was unequivocal. The majority ruled that unless these challenged ballots are cured within a narrow window of 15 days, they should be invalidated. This ruling has sparked immediate concerns as it presents an unprecedented scenario, cancelling over 68,000 legally cast ballots months after the election. Critics of the decision argue that such a move undermines a core democratic principle, that once votes are cast following established procedures, they should be counted without undue delay or subsequent legal challenge. Justice Riggs addressed these challenges head-on. Emphasizing her background as both a civil rights and appellate attorney, she noted that every prudent litigator prepares for the worst-case scenario while holding on to hope for the best outcome. Her team has already laid plans for a comprehensive ballot cure program. This program is intended to establish a clear set of guidelines for voters whose ballots are under dispute, ensuring that those who followed every rule on election day can have their votes validated. Quote, validate. The North Carolina Court of Appeals ruling, which according to Riggs was reached without proper legal precedent, calls into question the rationale behind disqualifying ballots that, on their face, should be counted. Especially when the challenged ballots largely originate from Democratic strongholds and would not have benefited Griffin. The intricacies of the ballot cure process, as outlined by Justice Riggs, extend beyond the simple administrative hurdle of providing missing identification numbers, sir. While her opponent cited deficiencies, such as the absence of a driver's license or social security number, the state board has already counted by identifying tens of thousands of ballots that meet the required criteria. Some enter. This discrepancy suggests that the sheer scale of the challenge may be far less daunting than initially feared, yet the process remains mired in legal ambiguity. Furthermore, issues such as voter turnover have also come to light. With a state population of 11 million, factors like deceased voters or individuals residing abroad have complicated the situation further. These challenges underscore the critical need for a well-defined and equitable cure process that reflects the actual voting records and intentions of North Carolina's electorate. The broader implications of this ruling resonate far beyond North Carolina's borders. Justice Riggs has warned that the decision poses a severe threat to democracy across the country. The ability to retroactively cancel or recure ballots, particularly in a partisan context, could set a dangerous precedent. dangerous precedent. This tactic, which mirrors attempts seen in previous election cycles, most notably during the national controversies surrounding the 2020 elections, is viewed by many as a direct assault on the fundamental principles of free and fair elections. As North Carolina's legal saga unfolds, its impact is likely to echo through other states, urging citizens and public officials alike to scrutinize any measures that might infringe upon the fundamental right to vote. In this context, the conversation has already shifted towards broader mobilization efforts. Justice Riggs remarked that if the legal system does not ultimately uphold the integrity of all legally cast ballots, the people of North Carolina will take to the streets in an unprecedented display of civic engagement. Drawing comparisons with past historic moments where electoral integrity was at stake, she emphasized that the energy and determination seen in previous races, such as those in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Florida, could quickly translate into a nationwide wave of activism. This potential for grassroots mobilization is underscored by the fact that the margin of victory in this particular race was a razor-thin 700 votes. With such a slender margin, even a relatively minor error in the ballot cure process could tip the scales, making every single vote crucial. Our vote crucial. The implications are stark. Should the cure process disqualify even a few thousand ballots, the outcome of the election could be decisively altered. The legal strategy moving forward is twofold. On one side is the appeals process, which will see the case travel from the current level of the state appeals court to the North Carolina Supreme Court, where Justice Riggs has recused herself, and potentially beyond, into the federal courts. On the other side, there is the meticulous preparation of a ballot cure program. Justice Riggs and her legal team are determined to ensure that the cure process is both fair and transparent, citing the importance of relying on verified data and clear guidance from the state board. This dual approach reflects a broader commitment to uphold the rule of law and defend the democratic rights of every voter. As Riggs noted, the voters already spoke, and it is imperative that their voices not be undermined by arbitrary legal maneuvers. Political analysts have pointed out that the stakes in North Carolina are particularly high. The state's political landscape, marked by sharp partisan divisions, now faces the very real risk of having an election effectively stolen through legal technicalities. Justice Riggs has made it clear that, in her view, the tactics employed by her opponent represent not just a local political contest, but a broader assault on democratic norms. By challenging the validity of ballots from Democratic-leaning areas, the ruling suggests a partisan strategy that, if successful, could embolden similar efforts nationwide. This has fueled a sense of urgency among Democrats and civil rights advocates who see the need for immediate and vigorous action to counter what they perceive as an attack on the very foundation of electoral democracy. At the core of this tumultuous legal landscape lies the unwavering dedication of Justice Riggs and her supporters. The Justice's impassioned commentary reflects not only her legal expertise, but also her deep commitment to protecting the democratic process. Her assertion is unambiguous. The rights of every North Carolinian to have their vote counted must be defended at all costs. This commitment has already sparked a proactive campaign on social media and through her website, where citizens are urged to remain informed and engaged as the case unfolds. In what can only be described as a call to arms for democracy, Justice Riggs has stressed that her legal battle is far from a solitary endeavour. It is a fight that unites voters, advocates, and public servants alike. Looking ahead, the immediate future promises to be critical. With developments expected within the coming 48 hours, observers and citizens alike are on high alert. Whether the appeals process will result in a stay of the ruling, or if a full-scale ballot cure effort will be activated, remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the outcome of this case will serve as a benchmark for how electoral disputes are handled in the future. For those who believe that the foundation of democracy rests on the transparent and accurate counting of every legally cast vote, the importance of this legal battle cannot be overstated. In conclusion, the unfolding legal saga in North Carolina represents a pivotal moment for American democracy. As Justice Alison Riggs and her legal team prepare to mount a vigorous appeal against what they view as an unprecedented and misguided ruling, the stakes are clear. The future of electoral integrity both in North Carolina and potentially across the nation, hangs in the balance. Joke in the balance. The case underscores the need for vigilance in the face of any attempt to undermine the democratic process, and it serves as a stark reminder that the right to vote is not something to be taken for granted. As citizens, public officials, and legal experts continue to navigate this complex situation, one thing remains certain: the fight for democratic integrity will be waged not only in the courts, but also on the streets. As North Carolinians, indeed, the nation stand united in defense of their rights. This is a critical moment where the responsibilities of those in power are being put under the microscope. It is an affirmation that every vote matters, and that any attempt to dilute the voice of the electorate, no matter how technically justified it might be framed, will be met with robust opposition. As Justice Riggs has made abundantly clear, her commitment to this fight is absolute. Absolute. With detailed legal preparations in place and a resolve strengthened by public support, the battle to preserve the integrity of the November 2024 election is poised to serve as a defining moment for democratic values in America. The eyes of the nation are on North Carolina, awaiting not only the outcome of this legal contest, but also the broader implications for the safeguarding of democracy in the years to come.